Well, good day, everybody. We are finishing up the front suspension today. We did the other break. We had people next door repairing the wooden fence. These are twin pistons. Pinch. Interesting, huh? And nice squeak pads mounted on them and everything. Okay, let's just say you're supposed to be right there. And you're supposed to be right here. Normally they put them through the other way, but for me, it's easy to do it this way. Makes no difference. That's all there is to it. Now, if you see my arms, there's sharp edges all over this car. Look at that. As soon as I did the other one, get on camera, it behaves. If I was doing a concours 10 car, I would have to have my clippies pointing in the straight direction. And that is how you install really thick. You can see how thick they are. Pads in here. Front end's done. One and done, finished it up. Engine's in. Jimmy just left here. He dropped in on me. He's going to take me over to Metal Supermarket since I don't have a ride right now, and pick up the tubing so I can start the header build next week after the 4th of July. As soon as the header build is done, I get to put the wings, front fenders back on the car, get them all lined up again. The last thing I got to do is to tighten up the motor mount bolts. I got to pick up an oil filter because I haven't had an accident with this one. It's been filled full of oil, but it's crushed like a pop can. I didn't realize it when I swung it around to start to level it. I was leveling it right over top of the engine mount bracket, and it just... I wasn't paying attention because I was cranking my guts out on the hand crank, which I'm going to cut off that engine leveler and grind it down, just leave the nut sticking up, and I'm going to weld a socket on there so I can just stick a 1/2 inch drive impact on it and just tilt the engine that way. That was the hardest part, was doing that. My grandson came out to help me get the last bolt in. I was having some trouble, my shoulder was hurting, so he pitched in and broke a spark plug, and I gave him a bunch of crap about it. And then when he got all excited, he said, I'll go in and get on the internet and buy a set. I said, I got a set in the box in there. He just gave me that funny look, like I just got him. I think do. Let me see if I can get up without too much to do. We could try it. We'll try something really different. Just because I can. Right down in there is the motor mount. Instead of going under the car, I'm going to check, see, I think it's this one. Nope. This one? Probably not. Nope. Let's go for the last one up here. Yep. I am going to do this to this and come in from the front so I don't have to go under the car. Give my shoulder a little bit of a break today. Dang, it didn't work. So I can get lucky 2 out of 2. Then when I go under it, the only thing I gotta do is hang the starter, which I gotta go find. I think it's in my LS tote box for stuff that has to go back on the engine. And I'll hang the starter, just get it in there. And I'll change the oil filter and pre-prime it. Put the bolt and lock nut on the motor mount, the transmission mount. And we're done. We're ready to start the headers. This one here is going to be a pain. So you can't see it. It worked. Not the ideal. Let me spin the stand. I spun the camera the other day in a hurry, and anybody watching it would have gotten dizzy. I thought, man, I can't believe I did that. Okay, here's your nice meaty pads on. I still got to do brake lines and stuff. New bellows, everything looked good. Brand new ball joints. The one over there on the other side is the bad one. My fabricating guy just gave me a hint on how to change this spout to get it even under this level, even with it, so I don't have to replace the pump. That's $186 savings, because I'd have to use a different style pump, and then I got to buy the $100. I take that back. It'd be over 200 or something, because the spacer kit is $96 to make the car water pump with the same bolt pattern come out to line up to the pulleys for the truck one. And this is the truck engine. So I'll lower the racks an inch. I'll lower this out, bring it in the same height as that. My next item to work on is the alternator, sitting right in here. I think Jakes has got what I need. I think it's Jakes, it might be Summit. I got it saved in there. I'm always looking ahead. I'm just tinkering in here. The intake and stuff I want to use is like 400 bucks. I started to get upset about the cost. I thought, well, wait a minute, I used to spend almost that much on a Holly 4-barrel. And then we'll probably, after we get done with the headers, while the front end's still open, I'm going to get the sway bar redone here next and get it painted and ready to bolt back in. No big deal on that. I got a little modification to do. I got to trim this just a little bit, because I got to shift this back 1/8 of an inch to make sure as it wears it doesn't move over toward the front of that balancer pulley right there. So that's a win-win-win for the day. I'm tickled to death with that. Motor mounts are in. I didn't have to jack the car up in this heat and climb under it. Like I'm saying, I'll do the starter, the oil filter, and the transmission mount. Perfect. Perfecto. I'm gonna have to talk to Mother about getting into my stash to pay for the wheel adapters, because after the fenders go on, the headers are done and everything, I'm gonna need to get the wheel adapters on, so I know where to cut the fenders for the flares. And it doesn't make a difference where it's sitting level now. It won't sit level with the 15s in the front, but the back end's going to be up in the air next. And I'm going to go under there and remove everything. Then I'm going to spend a couple days every week out at my son's disassembling the parts car. So what's left can be cut up and sent to the scrap heap. It's a Fred Flintstone special. The doors are 8 up at the bottom, but it's got perfect windows, glass, and everything in it. So I'm going to take the doors off. I actually got to jack the car up in the middle to pull the doors. I need to remove the gas tank before we take a plasma cutter to the car. And there's some metal panels I want to cut out of it for repair panels for this one. I want to cut the rear end out. I want to keep the springs intact. So we're going to be doing some stuff. The 410 Positrax and GM unit laying right there. Jimmy and I were just talking about it. I want to get it up and get these drums off. I want to see what I got on the inside in the way of hardware, if it needs to be replaced. See if the drums and the shoes are good, or do I need to throw some new shoes on it. That's all it needs while I got it up. Get it cleaned and everything. Get the crossover line off and the emergency brake stuff off. And just basically get it cleaned up and ready to go. I'll finalize it on the car with the brake line, with the I've got to get my head wrapped around the emergency brake. because it should travel about the same distance in this car as it did in that one. So I got to get the cable stuck in there. Just a whole bunch of little puzzle pieces to go together. I'm just glad that we're done with this phase of it. 54 days had that add a day for the rain to get her cleaned up, prepped, floors in it, the new chassis rail put in it, the chassis rail supports put in it, the cross members cut out and replaced and supported, and all the other stuff we did with welding it in. A little rust coating. The wife picked the paint. I kind of like the color. It's starting to grow on me. I didn't think I was going to like it at first. We got to do a radiator fitting. We'll probably save that for one day this weekend when I got nothing else to do. Because I will need to come in here and cut out at least an inch of this lip right here. So where this panel meets the bottom panel, I can just tack weld it, and then we'll go with pusher fans. I'd like to put a big fan in there, but it's going to be El Tito due to the fact that this is a truck motor. It's got the water pump, everything pushed forward, a bigger pulley, but the radiator will be sitting right about here, about an inch away. So the pusher fans are going to be the way it's going to go. It's all coming together. It's just what order I got to work on it, people. So hey, let's get down here. Yeah, think that's tight? Uh-huh. Looks like it's touching, but it's not. This side came out perfect. It's going to be really nice to be able to roll that starter up in there without having to twist it, stand on your head, or take the motor mount out to do it. I'm about ready just to start buttoning her up. How am I running? Oh, can't run over my pliers. I think I'm going to leave this tire off because I can reach right in there and get a hold of that oil filter and put a pan under it when the time comes. So I'm not laying out of the car having oil run clear up my elbows in my armpits. That filter's crushed. It is also totally full of oil, so it's going to run everywhere. Yeah. There's a good view of everything. We'll get these. I'm going to notch this. I'm going to move this back a quarter of an inch to give us a ½ inch in front of the harmonic balancer there. Because if I ever have to change that serpentine belt, it'd be nice to be able to get it in there without having to drop that to get it in. Placement of the header down tubes is my next working project. I got a quick one here I can add in. Let's see. Passenger side. Here's my rally wheels. with the caps. Here's the one, red's on the right. Right there's where she sits. Let me get her lined up. I'll let her move a little bit. Right there. The collector will come down right here. It's 1.5 inches away from the brake line, which is supposed to be good. I'll bring the metal brake line in this way and loop it down in, and then you got the rubber line that comes out the bottom and goes to that opening right there. The tire, let me see if I can do this. Hang on 1 minute, people. I'm trying to hold a header, open up my camera stand, tripod. Cotton picking thing. Okay, tire's all the way over. This is now lined up where it goes. Let me get it back up into position. Right there, tire's out here. And then the spacer will bring the tire over 2 more inches. So we're good. The back set is the same as the MG wheel. The front part is where I pick up the extra 2 inches on the rally wheel. So with the 2-inch adapter in here, I'm moving the thing out 2 inches. It's like bolting the wheel clear out here. It's going to move that tire over 2 inches away from what I'm plumbing in. You'll see more next week when I'm actually in here with the grinding and cutting and prepping all this stuff, and then I'll keep the camera on it while I'm fabricating it. Got all kinds of little band-aid makers on there. I'm already bleeding enough. If you're not bleeding, you're not working. That's my motto. Oh, but these new ball joints do not want to spin like me. People, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We're going to get into some interesting stuff now coming up. And first I got to get rid of my destroyed oil filter. I'm lucky I didn't pop a hole in it in the rain the other day to have that half quart of oil running in with the rain. That'd have been real fun out here to work. So we will be prepping the underneath of the car. I'll get some stuff together. We'll put the starter on it. We'll get the oil filter on it. We'll get it up higher and safer so I can get under it and put the lock nut on the transmission mount. And probably be a good time to do a mock-up fit with the radiator I got in there. I've got a MGB GT original radiator, V8, big copper and brass jobby, and the one goes in is aluminum MGB GT V8 radiator. The parts I used, thanks to Abington spares on the spring selection and stuff, the car just set down level with the weight of that engine and stuff in it. So I am totally impressed. I appreciate the info and the help. You also, I want to give a thanks to, who is it? Rimmer Brothers over in the UK. Great place to get good quality parts. Good quality parts. Got to pay a little bit more for them, but when I order parts around the US, I don't know if I said this or not, from all the suppliers, I was getting different parts from different people. I paid more for the delivery. I got a better quality floor pan from what I saw and what I read, and it was here a day before anything else arrived, and they were all ordered the same day within an hour. So you don't have to worry about the length of time it takes to get the stuff. If you have to go to them to get it, you're going to get your stuff as fast as they can get it to you. People, get your build on. Have a blessed day.